Our fear of betrayal is growing, whether from the universe or a person, and it can lead to distrust. Aries, the moon spends the day in your partnership sector, creating a solid awareness of your relationships and your need for companionship. It's an excellent day to streamline tasks. Later in the day, you might struggle with insecurities or wonder whether to go your own way or maintain the status quo. Try not to tackle too many issues that aren't yours if you find the people around you grumpy. You will quickly recognize the need for a mission today, however modest. You might feel a little discouraged, not knowing where to start. Embarking on a new path of self-expression will feel insincere or rebellious if you're not fully into it. Taurus, the path to fulfillment, seems to take into account the material aspects and details of your life today, and it can be rewarding to look for ways to simplify your life and improve your concentration. It is easier than usual to identify material priorities. As the day progresses, you may feel neglected or left out. Big decisions seem complicated to make. Someone may need to clear things up with you. Insecurities can be problematic, but learning from them is also possible and worthwhile. Gemini, the moon spends the day in your playful and expressive 5th solar house, which makes it an excellent time to create and enjoy your favorite hobbies. On the other hand, a certain formality may be present in your relationships, and you may find that you are detached enough to talk about goals, commitments, and rules. It can strengthen your bonds with others in the long run. As the day progresses, now is not the time to overfill your schedule. Transits can spark insecurities about a friend, a group, or finances. Be careful not to follow other people's plans to keep the peace while ignoring your inner voice. Cancer, the moon spends the day in your family and domestic sector, arousing a greater need for familiarity and comfort. Friends may demand more of your attention or possibly your support today, but you may prefer to be in the company of loved ones right now. You may be told a secret or asked to trust someone. As the day progresses, it may not be the best time to make big decisions, but you are in good shape to make valuable connections and learn from vulnerability. The demands of career, family, parents, or other responsibilities make themselves known. Although you can be very sensitive to expectations and limits, you may lack the confidence to do anything at the moment. You don't have to follow your plan entirely, as this will lead to inner frustration, and you might decide to wait until you are more sure of yourself. If someone or something strikes a chord, you will know that part of you feels there is room for improvement. The moon spends the day in your communications sector, dear Leo, sparking the desire to learn, connect, and mingle with others. It's the perfect time to get out of your comfort zone and gather helpful or funny information. However, don't let insecurities drive away the things you love. As the day progresses, minor disappointments or unresolved issues from the past may catch your eye. You might struggle with faith in a belief, idea, direction, or relationship. Some analysis can be helpful, but only to a certain extent, after which you may overthink it. The moon spends the day in your resource sector, dear Virgo, and relaxing can be a goal. It's an excellent time to look for business opportunities. It is a more important day for independent activities than for teamwork, even if you are fully prepared to work with others. You enjoy the feeling of inner power and empowerment it provides. As the day progresses, self-doubts can undermine your decisions and interactions, especially if you're working on autopilot. However, a temporary lack of confidence could help you. For example, you might choose to use this time wisely to get to know yourself better and understand your needs. You may be confused about feelings in a relationship or with support, financial or otherwise. You might decide not to do something daring until you are sure what you want. Libra, the moon spends the day in your sign, increasing your sensitivity and courage. With this transit, you have greater self-confidence, but you are also a little more vulnerable. However, you may face some guilt over things you don't accomplish. This is an excellent time to follow some emotional whims in moderation, but beware of impatience. As the day progresses, you might face some insecurities about your performance, responsibilities, or close relationships due to an upcoming Sun-Chiron square. Don't try to please people too much and aim for moderation, as this will prevent you from harboring resentment. Scorpio, there can be a reflective trend in the day. This is not the best time to be heard and understood clearly. Sometimes, you might feel misunderstood. However, it is a decisive moment to refocus and catch up on rest or more serenity. As the day progresses, it becomes too easy for others to touch your heartstrings, although it may inspire you to take the necessary steps to improve a vulnerable area of your life. With an upcoming Sun-Chiron square, interactions with others aren't straightforward, and you may feel guilty for underperforming. However, it is better to understand the uncertainties because you might be too hard on yourself today. Sagittarius, the moon spends the day in your 11th solar house, creating the desire or the need to seek camaraderie among friends. Instead, this transit can encourage you to connect with your happiness dreams or goals. As the day progresses, slight discomfort may be necessary to get you through an obstacle. The sun in your intimacy sector is heading for a clash with Chiron, and the general temptation is to accept whatever we think makes others happy or soothes them. However, this can only lead to problems. Emotional attachments can be a little confusing temporarily. Insecurities can surface, but the day can be enlightening and eye-opening with good self-awareness. Capricorn, with the moon today, having a mission or a goal, even if it is simple, is most likely to improve your mood. You can enjoy developing long-term plans and strategies. As the day advances, however, a Sun-Chiron square influences you, and issues at home or family are best dealt with openly and honestly. The temptation may be to take a quick approach, but it is better to look deeper and work on the root of the problems. A partner seems to want to push you over the edge. Identify your limits regarding the situation where you feel challenged so that you can cap things before they are exceeded. Fortunately, overcoming a weak point will be stimulating. Aquarius, the moon spends the day in your spiritual sector, which can be particularly instructive. Getting out of the more tedious details of everyday life to work on recharging your mind can be very helpful now. With a Sun-Chiron square influencing the later part of the day, it's best to be sure to appease someone to keep the peace. This transit may indicate hypersensitivity, and there may be poor timing with conversations or planning matters. It's probably better to be honest than to be cautious or try to avoid it. However, if you can postpone meaningful conversations, interviews, or presentations, that might be better. Insecurities tend to emerge in social situations today and early tomorrow. The moon spends the day in your intimacy sector, dear Pisces, sparking deeper feelings and a desire to know more about your needs. Aim to get in touch with your inner power. As the day progresses, a Sun-Chiron square becomes influenced, perhaps bringing insecurities and showing weak points. Granted, sensitivity can now interfere with healthy, growth-oriented interactions, but exploring why can be helpful. Mixed signals with friends and lovers are possible. You may entertain the idea of taking a risk, but part of you prefers not to. Your inner voice may tell you that now is not the right time to move on. Take more time to consider the details and only take the leap when true confidence returns. Try to learn about vulnerable areas that seem to be easily triggered today. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for daily horoscopes.